I want to say Preston gravy then. Delicious. The post-apocalypse sure hasn't done any favours for getting around. Transport is a nightmare at the best of times, let alone when highways and roads are in need of some serious maintenance. With Fallout 4 now upon us, we here at Xbox On thought we might share a few of the locations we've stumbled across during our travels that are not to be ignored, whether you're stepping out of the vault for the first time or making your second lap of the Commonwealth. If there's one thing that will become quickly apparent in Fallout 4, it's that acquiring ammo in reasonably sized chunks can be quite a frustrating task, especially if you insist on blowing 100 rounds of 10mm ammo just because you've discovered the automatic mod on the pistol. What? Look, if Fallout didn't want to encourage overkill, then why make the Fat Man? For those of you that have expanded your borders a fair amount, head to the peninsula east of Boston Airport and you'll find Fort Strong, or should I say, Fort Strong Chance of Ammo! First off, you have a not so shiny but new set of power armor complete with fusion core in the checkpoint building as you arrive, which will help make quick work of the super mutants infesting the area. Move to the armory and once that's cleared, although not a pretty sight, you'll find plenty of crates containing all manner of ammo types. Better yet, the room to the right has a locked safe with plenty of goodies and is sat next to a, wait for it, mini nuke. If you're like me and prefer to set the main quest aside at the earliest opportunity in pursuit of the unknown, you may also get blown into oblivion on a regular basis. Therefore, the next stop on this list is Concord. If you followed one of the first quest missions, you're sent to see Preston Garvey in the Museum of Freedom. This place is great for finding bits and pieces, but it's the museum that harbours the real treasure. When you meet Preston upstairs, grab the perception bobblehead off the table for an instant point addition to your perception special stat, rather than blindly missing it because you got distracted by how rude Marcy is.
What are you going to do in that stupid jumpsuit? Bleed to death?
And don't forget to pick up a copy of Robco Fun off the desk by the door for a free minigame. You'll also gain access to your first suit of power armor on the roof here and get to kick a Deathclaw to Deathclaw. Yeah. Speaking of Concord, if you're looking for something a little different on your travels, head inside the Concord Speakeasy on the main road. What you'll find is the aftermath of a party we are certainly glad we weren't invited to. Mannequins equipped with machetes and plungers surround a bathing skeleton. There's also a skull in the toilet and the bedroom is littered with chems and alcohol. I'll leave you to fill in the blanks. They certainly knew how to live it up before the bombs dropped. Getting a foothold in Fallout is always important, so what better way than picking on the weakest creature you can find? Don't give me that look, it's called the food chain. If you're rather new to this frightening land, then take yourself, a weapon and a stim pack over to the Poseidon Energy Turbine northeast of Diamond City. You will encounter several low-level enemies such as radroaches and bloatflies, but will also likely come up against a low-level legendary enemy. You should be able to make short work of whatever enemy spawns for you, and you should be rewarded with a legendary weapon or armor piece, giving your new character an instant boost. Move to the back of the facility and you'll also find a copy of Tumblers Today, which will make lockpicking easier, as well as a crate full of delicious loot. Be wary when leaving though, as a couple of Mirelurk hunters are waiting just outside. Just use our super secret technique and nothing can go wrong. For those of you who crave adventure, have leveled up considerably quickly, or just feel plain suicidal, then you could always attempt the daring journey down to Libertalia, a collection of semi-sunken ships connected together to form a makeshift harbour. If you manage to get there with all your limbs attached and deal with Wire and his band of raiders who have made it their home, then you will find plenty to search through, with each boat housing its own surprises. That isn't all that makes this endeavour worthwhile though. Battle your way to the top of the sunken liner and you will reach the captain's cabin, home to the legendary weapon Le Fusil Terrible, or the terrible gun if my equally terrible French is anything to go by. This combat shotgun variant does 25% more damage than your standard combat shotty. This is at the expense of recoil, but you shouldn't need to worry too much about that if you're planning to shove it directly into a super mutant's face. Another great place to start your adventures, the rather unconventional farmland of Grey Garden and its metallic farmhands will offer you everything from manual labour jobs to your first side quest and even a brand new car. It may be humble beginnings, working for 2 caps and mute fruit, but we all have to start somewhere. I mean, we could show you where to find this guy for starters, but I'm not sure it's the wisest investment of your time. Also, make sure to grab some of the crops from here to start your own farm back at Sanctuary Hills. Last but not least, it's worth remembering that not everything in life has to be about scavenging the remnants of collapsed society. For example, there's a small ruined building just southeast of Malden. No, not New Malden, a different Malden. Inside you'll find a locked safe and some medical supplies, but also a Brotherhood of Steel patrol who look a little worse for wear. Pick up the holotape and distress beacon and this will start the Lost Patrol side quest, one which will take you on a brilliant little journey across various other locations, picking up awesome loot and getting into some intense firefights. Again, if you need a place to start, this one gets our irradiated stamp of approval. So those are just a few places that we found on our adventures around the Commonwealth. Are there any cool places you found yet? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe for way more cool videos from Xbox On. See you next time. Bye!